Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to talk about a phenomenon in television history that has ruled the hearts of people for over 3 decades. Recently, the official Friends YouTube channel released a massive 40-minute mega compilation video titled, The Classic Ones from Season 1 Friends. This isn't just any ordinary video, it's a time machine that takes us straight back to 1994. An era that completely redefined the meaning of sitcoms. In today's video, we will break down and deeply review this entire compilation scene by scene, decode the psychology and comedy behind each iconic moment, and discuss why Season 1 still feels so incredibly fresh and pure today. If you are a die-hard Friends fan, fasten your seatbelts because this review is going to be an absolute joyride. ####2 Character intros and the pilot phase, Ross's heartbreak and Rachel's entry ****. The video kicks off right at the beginning of the show. We see Ross Geller, who is visibly miserable and depressed. His wife, Carol, has just left him, and the ultimate twist is that Carol has realized she is a lesbian. The sheer despair and awkward grief that David Schwimmer brings out through his dialogue delivery is absolute genius. He delivers that famous line about feeling as if someone reached down his throat, grabbed his small intestine, and tied it around his neck. Right at that moment, Rachel Green makes her grand entry into the Central Perk coffee house. Rachel has just run away from her own wedding. She is wearing a drenched wedding dress and is completely soaked from the rain. This is where we get Rachel's famous shoe and purse metaphor. She tries to explain to her dad over the phone that her whole life everyone told her she was a shoe. But what if she doesn't want to be a shoe? What if she wants to be a purse? Or a hat? This scene is crucial because it marks the birth of Rachel's character growth. A wealthy girl leaving her father's credit cards behind to carve out her own independent identity. And right there, Monica hugs her and delivers the ultimate reality check. *, welcome to the real world. It sucks. You're gonna love it. *, a line that became the baseline philosophy of the entire show. ###3 Friends flaws and inside jokes. The flaw analysis. ***. Another brilliant segment of this compilation targets the mutual friction and quirky habits, the flaws, of these 6 friends. When Chandler slips back into his old habit and starts smoking, the rest of the gang immediately starts lecturing him. Frustrated, Chandler decides to take everyone down with him and starts exposing their annoying quirks one by one. We discover that Joey constantly cracks his knuckles, Ross overpronounces and enunciates every single word with painful slowness, Monica makes an odd snorting sound when she laughs, and Phoebe habitually chews on her own hair while singing or thinking. This segment perfectly encapsulates what real friendship is all about, knowing each other's deepest flaws, making fun of them, but ultimately accepting them exactly as they are. ###4 The White House Pizza and Laundry Virgin Rachel ****. Moving forward in the video, we encounter the iconic pizza mix-up scene. The girls, Monica, Rachel, and Phoebe, accidentally receive a pizza meant for George Stephanopoulos, a glamorous White House advisor. What follows is a hilarious sequence where the 3 girls stand on the balcony with binoculars, tracking George in the building opposite them, obsessing over his sexy smile and cute butt. It's a scene that perfectly captures 90s pop culture. Meanwhile, we witness the first real bonding moment between Ross and Rachel at the laundromat. Rachel admits she is a laundry virgin who has never washed her own clothes. Ross gently steps in to teach her how to separate colors. When an aggressive, rude woman tries to bully Rachel and steal her laundry cart, Rachel finally sheds her timid persona, fights back, and reclaims her cart. Seeing this small victory, Ross falls even deeper in love with her. ###5 Matthew Perry's Masterclass, Chandler's Blackout and Jill Goodacre ****. Now let's talk about the standalone best and most iconic segment of this entire 40-minute compilation, the New York Blackout. Power is out across the entire city, and Chandler Bing accidentally finds himself locked in an ATM vestibule with Victoria's Secret supermodel Jill Goodacre. This entire sequence is an absolute masterclass in acting by Matthew Perry. He barely speaks out loud because he is internally reeling from his sheer luck, forcing him to rely entirely on internal monologues, the thoughts inside his head. In his desperate bid to look effortlessly cool, he does the most bizarre things, including accidentally accepting a piece of gum from a stranger, realizing it's already been chewed, and choking on it in horror. When Jill performs the Heimlich maneuver and saves his life, he looks at her, utterly embarrassed, and utters the classic line, ***, that was perfection. ***, if you want to understand the essence of Chandler's character, this 5-minute segment is all you need. ###6 Thanksgiving Disaster and Marcel the Monkey ****. The show Friends is globally renowned for its Thanksgiving episodes, and this video treats us to Season 1's very first Thanksgiving disaster. The giant underdog cartoon balloon breaks free and floats away into the Manhattan sky. Excited to catch a glimpse jumps, the entire gang rushes up to the building's roof. However, in the frantic rush, nobody grabs the keys and the apartment door locks them out. The resulting, key argument outside the apartment door is pure comedic gold. By the time they get back in, Monica's meticulously prepared Thanksgiving dinner is burnt to a crisp. Everyone turns on each other and starts shouting, but in the end, as they sit around eating grilled cheese sandwiches and potato chips, Chandler raises a beautiful toast. He expresses how grateful he is that everyone's Thanksgiving got ruined because it forced them to spend the night together. Around this time, we also see the introduction of Ross's pet monkey, Marcel, who steps in to fill the void of Ross's loneliness. #7. The poker game, bluffing and the booby payback ***. Further along, the compilation highlights their legendary poker game. The girls learn how to play poker from the guys and immediately challenge them to a high-stakes rematch. It all boils down to a final, intense showdown between Rachel and Ross. Rachel bluffs with a massive bet, and despite having a winning hand, Ross intentionally folds just to see Rachel happy. This subtle moment beautifully shows the depth of Ross's genuine love for Rachel. Alongside this, we get the hilarious Booby Payback Express storyline. Chandler accidentally walks in on Rachel while she is topless, prompting Rachel to hunt him down for eye for an eye revenge. Joey accidentally complicates this revenge plot, attempting to intercept Rachel. He ends up flashing his chest to Monica instead. This chain reaction of misunderstandings turns the entire episode into a brilliant comedy of errors. #8. Emotional climax, Ben's birth and the China twist ***. The final 10 minutes of the video are incredibly fast-paced and emotional. First, we visit the hospital sequence where Carol gives birth to Ross's son, Ben. The petty arguments inside the hospital closet between Ross, Susan, Carol's partner, and Phoebe are incredibly funny, but the moment the baby is born, all past bitterness melts away. And then comes the ultimate turning point of season 1. During Rachel's birthday party, Chandler accidentally lets slip that Ross has been desperately in love with her since their college days and that he bought her an incredibly expensive crystal duck gift. Rachel is completely stunned. She suddenly realizes what Ross truly means to her, but it's a second too late. Ross has already left for a week-long archaeological dig in China. Rachel dashes to the airport to intercept him, but due to federal regulations, she cannot enter the jetway, and Ross's plane takes off. This classic cliffhanger left audiences agonizing for months back in the 90s. #9. Technical review and conclusion. Final verdict. ***. So guys, if we talk about an overall verdict, this compilation video is a solid 10 out of 10. It serves as a beautiful reminder that you don't need high-tech VFX or massive action sequences to build a timeless masterpiece. All it takes is exceptional writing, top-notch dialogue delivery, and an authentic, palpable bond between the characters. That cozy 90s era free from modern smartphones, the iconic orange couch at Central Perk, and Phoebe's wonderfully bizarre songs, they all bring a unique sense of comfort.